All righty, it's recording. Awesome.
All right. Hope you guys are all having an awesome Saturday. I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody. All right, cool. So today we are going to be talking about the 5 spokes and how to find balance and achieve ultimate fulfillment. So as we go through this, as always, play full out, speak up if you have a question, but this will definitely be one you want to take some screenshots of, take some notes, because there's a lot of really good and powerful questions that we're going to go through here. All right, so life is definitely going to pull you in different directions at different times. And so without a vision, people perish. So we must have a vision so we can know how to navigate ourselves when life throws tricky situations at us. Because life is essentially a series of obstacles and challenges interrupted occasionally with crisis. All right. And if we can get to where we can just know that that's what's coming, that's what's going down, then we can be prepared for it. So the 5 spokes of the wheel of life are going to be financial, career/business, relationships, health and well-being, and contribution/community. All right, so get clear on your current situation and your future goals. So how satisfied are you in each one of these areas in your life? So going over the 5 spokes, we want to just get an understanding of where you're at with each one, where you're at currently. So just as we go through these, just kind of rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 5. So you might just grab a paper and pen and just take some notes. You can just kind of get an idea of where you're at on these things. All right, so financial, do you feel financially secure? Are you able to do what you want to do without constraints? And of course, that can mean, different things on different levels. And are the things you would do if you had better financial resources? It's just kind of a one out of 5, 1 not ideal and 5 is awesome. So career and business. Are you excited to go to work? Are you learning and growing in your career? And is your career rewarding, financially and otherwise? And do you really feel passionate about what you do? And then with relationships, do you have people that you care about and who care about you in your life? And are you having meaningful experiences with other people? And if so, what are those experiences and what makes them meaningful to you? And then ultimately, do you feel loved and appreciated? So very, very important things to think about. So, and then with health and well-being, do you have enough energy to pursue your goals every day? Are you able to maintain a healthy weight? Are there people in your life that you admire that are full of health and vitality? Do you have people like that in your inner circle? Are you choosing to surround yourself with people you aspire to be like, especially in this area? Because this is going to be important, because the people that are choosing to really put their health first are going to make different decisions than the people that aren't. And so it's important you keep that in mind as you are developing and thinking about your inner circle. And are you strong, confident, and living your best life? Are you able to play with your kids? And do you feel like you'll live a long and healthy life? And then contribution, community. So do you give of yourself freely to others? Do you help people with no expectation of return? Just to do the right thing and help people. provide value to people? Do you feel like you're making a difference? Do you feel like you're making the world a little bit better place? And is there a good cause that you'd like to support in a bigger way? So what areas are you strong in? Which ones are you weak in? So hopefully you rated yourself on these. So it's going to ultimately be about finding balance. So most of us tend to focus in just a couple of major parts in our life. Normally, financial and career are heavily weighted here. It's definitely important to understand your wants and desires in other areas as well, because true fulfillment is going to require us to design a life that satisfies us in all areas. And sometimes, one area of focus, like for example, your career could tie into things that you're really passionate about. So there's not necessarily like a balance, but your career could be very fulfilling to you and it not feel like work to you sometimes. So balance is going to be a subjective term here. So examples of imbalances would be the millionaire that realizes he's 200 pounds overweight, trapped in his own body, can't stop drinking, fearful of dying early and leaving his family. In that case, financial part's covered. And these are all true examples that I'm giving you here, guys. So, you could have all the money in the world, but if you don't have your health, then what does it matter? You can't do anything, can't enjoy it. So the mom that puts her kids first, neglects herself, loses confidence, stops loving herself, and the kids are watching this and they're repeating this. So unknowingly and putting them first is perpetuating a cycle, that's against what she would like for them. So the dad that goes through the drive-through to save time, it's actually poisoning himself and his kids and teaching them to go for the easy and convenient route and not look at the big picture. So he's teaching that it's okay to be lazy, right? Or the nurse that takes care of her patients and teaches them how to be healthy, but doesn't take care of herself, puts herself last. So on some level feels like an imposter because she's not practicing what she preaches. So sometimes in certain areas, we go to extremes, and in other areas, our life kind of gets sacrificed for us to get there. We just have to be aware of these things and make the conscious choice and know what kind of results or consequences that are going to be made there. So if you have a vision of where you want to go, how you want to get there, then you can find the most direct path without sacrificing your happiness and fulfillment. So just personal example in one area on this, when I was first dialing in the nutrition part for me, it was over, I think, like 2 years that I didn't go out to eat because I had laser focus on what I wanted. I would bring my own food to family events. Sometimes when we would travel for events, I'd drive 40 minutes to make sure I was just hitting my targets. Sometimes I'll get obsessed with stuff. And so it's just only been in the last year that I've really been able to lock in and maintain, like, okay, I know I got this and I can maintain it, that I'm, venturing out a little bit more because I know that I have the data and skills to be able to get back on track. But it's still a balance, and this is extreme, but I wanted to get there faster. And so now that I've proven to myself, now I know the strategies, I know the numbers, I'm starting to add in more, venture out a little bit more, but, making sure I'm able to reel it back in. Another example, me and Trammy told you about last week, what we did in Miami. And now I'm still probably 2 weeks away from being back to where I was before I left. But those are the choices that I made, and I know what to do to get it back to where it needs to be. So define 3 ideal markers for each area. So we'll go through some examples here. So try to define as specifically as possible as we go through these. Just write down some ideas and plan on taking action so you can put this on your wall and be able to see it daily. All right. So financial, for example, what do you want to earn per month? What do you want to bring in? Are you trying to get out of debt? Do you want to, is it a goal for you to put 10% back into savings? Is it important for you to be working on your investments and for them to grow a certain percentage year over year? Are you reinvesting at least 3% of your income into your own personal growth and development? So some things to think about financially. And then career and business. Are you a gold collar worker? Got that from Susan. You got the blue collar worker, white collar, and then the gold collar. That's going above and beyond. Doing the job and then some. Always looking for ways to level up and take on more responsibilities and do a really freaking good job. Are you reading 30 to 50 minutes per day in your field of expertise? Are you listening to strategic, powerful information each day whenever you drive? Do you want to get your real estate license, sell your first home, start your own business where you can work from anywhere, spend more time with the kids, become a sales manager of your company, exceed sales targets by 10%? What do you want to do career and business wise? So relationships. Do you want to take your kids to school every day? Have a passionate relationship with significant other, someone in your life that you push and that pushes you to both grow and pursue your dreams together? Do you need to have a date night once a week with your significant other? Make sure you're talking to your parents once a week, having no technology time with your significant other or with the kids. What do you need to do to tighten up the relationships? Make sure you're writing these things down. And then health and well-being. This is where a lot of us are. What is the goal there? Lose 50 pounds, get to a specific weight and body composition goal. So to continue coaching and always learning and growing, exercising 30 minutes a day, 3 times a week, doing meal prep once or twice a week, only eating out once a week, learning how to cook, getting more variety in that area, making it to where it's hard to fail and easy to succeed. So contribution and community. So some examples could be leading, your son's little league baseball team, helping build homes for less fortunate people, donating to one of your favorite charities once a year, volunteering at a homeless shelter, just really reaching out and lifting people up, reaching out and lifting somebody up. By doing these things with no expectation of return, you get a tremendous sense of fulfillment and you can really impact someone's life in a very significant way. And so that can be very fulfilling for the person getting helped and you as well to know that you're really making a difference. All right. I am going to get to Q&A on this. I want to know what you guys came up with. So I need a couple volunteers to just tell me what you came up with through these categories. All right.
Like first rate themselves, like what do they rate themselves on?
All right, so let's go back through the categories. Do I have a volunteer on this? Yeah, let's go with financial first. Do I have a volunteer? No volunteers? It's going to be a voluntold.
I'll go.
All right, Susan, what you got?
My goal is to do an investment with about 2 to 3% of my income each month. I'm a member of a ladies investment club, and we meet, and there's a minimum that you have to give at each meeting, but I want to go above and beyond that because they're doing so well with their stocks. So going that way.
That's awesome. All right. So how about career and business? Let me get let me get one more volunteer for the financial. Who else wants to give me an example for financial?
I'll do a financial example.
All right.
For myself, I've just been basically investing my money right now into like cryptocurrency, because that's digital currency, just to set me and my family up for the wealth of the shift in wealth that's about to happen, where that's happening. So that's one example.
All right. Very cool. Derek, did you want to throw one in on there on that?
No, I'm okay.
All right. Cool. Let's go on to the next one, career and business. Who wants to comment on career and business? Derek?
Yeah, what's going on, Rob?
Career and business. What's a goal for you there? How did you rate yourself, and what's a goal?
I mean, I would rate myself a platinum color worker in my career in business. I mean, I overstretched on my corporate job. I mean, and my business. I mean, it wasn't what it used to be, but I'm trying to work smarter this time. More residual income. I mean, even with my job on my corporate job, I still have to come back and trying to figure out a schedule where I can work out, because it's, balancing that between my new grow farms with my ATMs, filling them and stuff. And it's getting really hectic. I mean, I don't really have time to sleep or basically do anything. Every minute is busy.
Got it. So you're 5 there, but we gotta bump it up in the health part.
Right. I mean, with the health, I mean, right now until my daughter goes back to school, and I can get with my corporate job without them sending me out just to train somebody overnight. Hey, you got to go Tulsa, train the new guy, and leave at 6 in the morning. I mean, I usually wake up at 6 to exercise while my daughter's not here, but because she's going to be living here when school starts again, I can't really leave her. I can't leave her at the house by herself because single parent. And so I got to try to figure it out to squeeze it in maybe after hours, but I can't be doing it while I'm on training somebody out on the field. I just need to get a set schedule for my job, but COVID-19 is kind of throwing it out of whack.
Gotcha. We'll definitely help you come up with some strategies there. Cool.
Cool.
All right. Anybody else for career business? All right. All right. How about relationships? Have any takers on that? Chris, how about you? Where are you at, and what are some changes you want to make?
Well, I'd like to spend more time with my daughter, but she's really far away. But I can call her and text her still, and I also need to call my dad more often. Probably, I might call him every 2 weeks, but more often would be better. And just try to find somebody who's a significant other that's gonna be more in line with all the 5 spokes, pretty much.
Yeah, Chris, because you are a transformed man.
Yeah,
You're a transformed man, and
I feel it on the outside and I see it, but it doesn't always feel like it on the inside, I feel like the same person maybe as I used to be on the inside, but
yeah, but you're not.
Right.
You're not. You deserve better, and that's what you're going to have in your life. Okay?
Okay.
Awesome. All right. Let's see. Who else can we do on relationships? How about Adam?
Yeah.
Where are you at on relationships, and how can we improve it?
I think I'm pretty good. I talk to my parents all the time, my sisters, like all of them, over 2 or 3 times a week. Me and my wife are doing really good. We do a lot of devotionals, trying to work on or to keep our relationship going good. So I think in relationships, I'm pretty good.
Awesome. Love it.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next one. Health and well-being. Where are you at? What can you improve? So let's go with Callie on this one. Where are you at? Where can you improve? You're muted. Go ahead and unmute yourself. There you go.
I mean, I'm doing good on the weight loss. I switched over to plant-based this last week. So I'm doing good. I know that if I buckle down and became even more serious about it, that the results would be even greater. But I'm not trying to be permissive with myself, but I'm trying to be kind as I move into something very new and kind of learn the ins and outs. And I think that I've never been a person that has, given myself permission to do things good for me. So this has been a good time of just probably being more aware, knowing when I enjoy eating, time-wise, when it's more conducive for me to eat, like trying to eat in the morning as opposed to the afternoon, trying to figure out where that trigger is, where I want to eat at nighttime. And sometimes I will eat at nighttime, but trying to figure out where that is. So trying to approach it something that instead of just doing the motions that I don't understand is taking it a little bit slower and understanding the process, so that for me, I think that it will be more of a lifestyle instead of a let's lose the weight and then see what happens after it. So, and that's really what I want it to be, is I want it to be just a seamless lifestyle, not where I'm, freaking out because I have 12 ingredients in one dish that I'm trying to weigh out, and getting frustrated because sometimes I'll just say, forget it, I'm going to have a tomato, because that's easy to chart. And it's like, you can't do that. It's like, you have to, if this is going to be for the rest of your life, then, I can't eat a tomato when I get upset or, when I get frustrated. It's like, just figure out the process and, spend this time now, and I'm still losing weight. And in, 6 months from now, it'll be different. A year from now, it'll be different than the 6 months, and allow yourself to grow and build a good foundation instead of just wanting to get it done and then it not be something that stays.
That's very good example, and understanding especially that through the growth curve that there's some frustration that happens, and that you're learning and acquiring new skills that you're going to have for the rest of your life.
Right.
Really freaking awesome. Love it. All right. Contribution community. Let's go to Dusty on this one. Contribution community. Where do you feel like you are on this, and where would you like to get just a little bit better? You're muted.
One of the things that, I think it really encompasses more than one field, is that I have been teaching before I had surgery. I had been teaching at my congregation, and I haven't taught since then. And it is a challenge. I don't mind speaking before a few people, but it's a big challenge for me to speak in front of the whole congregation. So working on that to be able to do that with less stress, and to continue to build those skills to put a presentation together, and to remember why I am doing it, and what that kind of goal is, and focusing on that.
Love it. All right. How about Auxilia, contribution community? Where are you at on that? Where would you like to step it up a little bit?
I actually have a nonprofit. Me and my cousin put together. I don't know where I'm at. I think I'm gold there, because we do reach out twice. It's an all year round thing. Basically, it's called Raising Anchors, and I am from a small town, Toka, Oklahoma, and there's really not like a lot of leadership and like mentorship there for the kids. And there's really not a lot for them to do as far as like entertainment. So what we do twice a year on Juneteenth, we go down there and we, do education platforms. We do, career day, and just put together, things for the kids that they don't have access to, or there's no mentorship and leadership there. We take them skating, try to do events like that throughout the school year. And then we go back at the end of the summer and we do another just fun day in the park. And then we have a Telegram group for the older kids to just reach out to us and let them know there's things they want to do, passions and things they want to really hone in on that don't, like the school doesn't have activities that they might like, and we can through resources help get them into those different activities. Sports is always the given, but there's other things like music, other types of music, and just things like that, really honing in with the kids and really being that stone for leadership and mentorship. And this is our 3rd annual, so I think I'm doing pretty good with that.
Very cool. Love it. Love it. All right, let me see. I want to get one more on that. Adam, I want to hear from you on the contribution community. Where are you at? Where do you want to be?
I'd like to be doing a lot more. We used to give quite a bit to the church and pulled back a little bit in the last year or two. And it's kind of hard. We do a lot of stuff with our church and some charities, but it's hard right now because of the COVID-19. So once everything opens back up, hopefully we can get back out and start doing that again.
Cool. Awesome. All right, we're going to roll through affirmations together, and then I'm going to open it up to Q&A. So let's go ahead and everybody unmute, bring the energy up real quick, and freaking start the Saturday off right, and then we'll go into Q&A. You guys ready?
Ready.
You guys ready?
Yeah.
Ready.
All right. I'm lovable. I'm valuable. I'm enough.
I'm lovable.
I'm valuable. I'm enough.
I'm a winner. I look like a winner. I succeed like a winner.
I'm a winner.
Look like a winner. I succeed like a winner.
I'm sharp. I'm enthusiastic. I'm an expert.
I'm
sharp.
sharp.
Enthusiastic. I'm an expert.
I'm the best. I'm the best in my company.
I'm the best.
I'm the best in my company.
I'm the best in my country. I'm the best in my industry.
I'm the best in my country. I'm the best in my industry.
I'm the best in the world. I'm the best.
I'm the best in the world.
I'm the best in the world. I'm the best.
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 Love it. That's the best one yet. All right, go ahead and open it up to some Q&A, and if anyone needs to hop off, totally understand. But any questions you got, bring them. Was this exercise helpful to you guys?
Yeah.
It was.
Awesome. Very cool. Yeah. Any questions you guys have? Floor is yours.
Do you guys think the 1,300 calorie for me is a little bit low? Because if I drink 2 of the shakes already, it's like 300 calories.
It's a trammy question right here.
Oh yeah, the reason why we did 1,300 calories for you is because you had really low calories for a long time and you couldn't hit them. So I kept lowering the target, but now you're hitting them, so we're increasing the target.
Yeah, because you know, some of my friends notice like, man, you're losing size, and then like my pants is like, it's like 4 inches. Like, I need to get them fit.
So basically, what's happening for you is like we actually set your calories at like 2,500. And then you never hit it. So I kept lowering it, and then you still couldn't hit him. But this week you started hitting 1,300. So now it's 1,400. So it's going to start increasing. But for you specifically, because you want to get abs and you want to build muscle mass, your area of opportunity now is going to be like, you have to structure your day. So that way you can find more ways to meal prep and exercise, because now your schedule is completely awry. And I can because you're just eating literally like it's all over the place. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I do see. I mean, I do feel stronger in the abs, and
yeah.
I kind of worked on abs today a little bit, but I see them popping out. I feel them.
Yep. Awesome. So for you, like the main focus this week is to create structure, so that way you could regularly exercise again, focus on your sleep, and then focusing on a way where you can start meal prepping more regularly. Because what's happening with you, Derek, is like you're eating out almost every single day, like multiple times a day, even though you're tracking it, which is freaking awesome. What's going to happen is when you're eating out, it's not as accurate as if you were to meal prep. You see what I'm saying? We talked about last week where like one in Cali works as a restaurant. So the cooks there, they don't really measure stuff out. So you're eating like pho, which is like a Vietnamese noodle soup for people who don't know. Like they could put oil in there. It could be a 3-second pour or it could be a 9-second pour. And the difference between the two could be thousands of calories. So what you're reporting is probably not as accurate. So your goal and area of opportunity here is going to be finding ways to prep your food as much as possible and making the time. So therefore scheduling and creating like a workout schedule, time where you prep your food. And I also sent you a link on your email to like done for you meals. So that way, if you want, you could, Susan does this a lot when she was working. She'll cook maybe one meal and then she'll have 2 done for you meals. She structured it so like she didn't have to cook every meal. So for you, we're slowly going to have you increase your calories. So while staying lean. But yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
It's good for you to hit that 1,300 because for about 4 weeks, you couldn't even hit 1,300.
Right.
But now you are, so that's good because now we can start building it back up. You see what I'm saying? Cool. Anybody else have any questions?
Yeah.
On relationships and community, they're kind of related, and those are my 2 weakest areas right now. I was wondering if you had any tips to help me.
So I guess it's how can you think about in your area, how else can you surround yourself with people that you really, aspire to be like and that you want to attract more of into your life? Because you've made some significant changes to your life. And just like, you said, what's outside is not yet a reflection of what's on the inside, because we still are seeing our old self because these changes have happened so quickly. So it might be a question of some limiting beliefs on your side of what you deserve, what you're capable of. And so it might require a little bit of thinking outside the box of where you can be around more people like that you ultimately want to attract in your life. Because right now, some of the places you might be thinking, oh, well, I don't deserve to be there. Does that make sense?
Right. But it's hard right now because there's not too many places you can be around a lot of people.
A lot of people are doing online dating now, and there's a lot of things like I would, if I were single right now, I would not go find people at bars. I would probably do online dating and prospect. Number one is like figure out what is the mate that you want. Are they working out? Are they they have a career? So you kind of have to like think about what characteristics do you want them to have? And then you can go and either go and hang out where they would hang out, or you can do more of like online dating or through friends, or, you know, just figure out like maybe through friends would be great, because that way, you know, you could tell your friends that you really like and trust, like, hey, I'm looking for this type of girl, and then they can introduce you, or you can prospect yourself on online dating. And then you have to like know, you have to have conversations first. You know what I mean? Like get on the Zoom call, ask those questions. So like, let's say you want an intelligent woman, make sure you like, she cares about something. You know, I was just talking to somebody who's my mentor, and he's very successful. He's like, they could be the most gorgeous, beautiful woman in the entire world, and she looks like a model, but if she doesn't have something that she cares about, it is conversations over.
Right.
That's something.
I mean,
that's
if I was single, Mr. Groupie could hang out with me, but that's not the case anymore.
So I think, but Derek, this was an area, you know, that you struggled in a little bit as well. So it's just, you know, getting into a place where you're getting with somebody that, you know, you're bringing something to the table now. You know, you're bringing a lot to the table. Whoever you bring into your life needs to be bringing something too.
And then Derek, why don't you tell us about your experience? Because I know when we first started working together for about 3 weeks, you were like, oh my gosh, these girls, and then now you're finding girls that are like into fitness, and then now
right. I mean, we have same, my girlfriend now, she exercises maybe 3 to 4 times a week, every morning. I mean, we have kind of same goals. Before, my ex-wife, she became a district judge, and it was kind of, I provided for the whole family, and I took care of her, and I didn't think of anything. I paid for everything, but that's not, you got to find a balance, because it's, I don't think that, I don't know. I mean, it was more of a business relationship that 10 years than a real relationship, but I'm happy where I'm at now. And once it all come to place, once you get the fitness and everything. I've never really had problems with women, but it was just kind of like, didn't date anybody for 12 years. So I was kind of weirded out by going out and just to meet people again. But it's like riding a bicycle. It's normal. It comes back normally.
So where were you able to find and meet somebody that you liked and you thought was quality for your life? With this COVID.
I really didn't want to go out and like kind of look, because you don't really know where you're going to get, but maybe closer like family or friends of friends, because they kind of, you kind of get a story of them beforehand, instead of like knowing that they're dating them and then finding out they're an evil person. Then maybe some dating somebody or finding out from families or friends, like people that have the same mentality.
That's awesome. Like talking to people that you trust, and then you regard their opinion, and you know that they wouldn't refer somebody to you that wouldn't be quality. That's
for sure.
I think too, in relationships, that I always think that they are the best business deal. I think that you should go into a relationship the same way that you would build a successful business. What do you give to this relationship? This is what I bring. Do they work together? You know, what's the return on that investment? You know, where are you at financially? Where are you at, with your finances and with the integrity of your finances? I think that relationships are so emotional that if you don't have those nailed down, is that, your pecker will be the picker. You will get caught into something so big and you will not be able to get out of it 9 times out of 10. And so I think that when you do that, it's like, you can't expect, You can't, I can't expect to have somebody who's got their shit together if I don't have my shit together.
Exactly.
You know, nobody's going to make me more of what I am than my relationship with the Lord and me. You know, nobody's going to come in and be my savior and wait for me, you know, and I think that that's what you always have to, you know, be careful of is I'm not ready for a relationship. I have no desire to because I feel like I have one relationship left in me. I have one great business deal and I have one great relationship. And it's like, I don't have time to mess around. I've wasted enough time. I want to pick wise and I want this to be the right thing.
You know, I heard a saying, I've heard it several times, you know, that sometimes we're in situations where we're waiting for that person on the white horse to come in and rescue, you know, and save the day. But the thing is you are the person on the white horse.
Right.
You're that person.
Yeah. Yep. And I think that strength in a person and that, you know, it's not necessarily the outgoingness, but I think that when you're in alignment with where you need to be, is that you have that sense about somebody else. You know, you tend to gravitate towards your health and you're unhealthy. You know, in my relationships, I always had beautiful people and I was always the caregiver. You know, I was always the money. I was always, you know, the one driving that bus. And, you know, now I want it to be equal. You know, I'm getting older. I'm tired of working. You know, I don't want to raise a kid, you know. And so my focus, and especially being sober, it's very, very different than it was 2 years ago, you know. So I think that, you know, until we can figure it out here, you know, there's nothing that lasts longer than a bad haircut and a bad relationship, you know.
So is that helpful, Chris?
Yeah, that's pretty helpful.
Awesome. One more thing I'll throw in there, and I saw this example. One is basically there was the Timmy examples. There's an example of Timmy or Jack, and Timmy basically was like always got friend zoned, right? Timmy's trying to be super nice and be, you know, pleasing and do all these things. But that's not like, you know, the girl is like always wanting to date the bad guy, right? And it's not that it's the bad guy, it's the person that has drive, that has ambition, that has goals, you know. And so isn't thinking about, you know, how can I just please this person, but, you know, that it's attractive to other people when they see that you are doing stuff, you're on a mission, and that you don't need anything. You're not a needy person. It's just what is going to complement your life and you complement someone else's life.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right, guys, was that helpful? Cool. I love talking about this stuff. And I love all the sharing that you guys had to give. Is there anybody else who had questions about their meal plan and about mindset and, you know, your action items? Most everybody here got your email with your action items for next week already. So if you guys haven't checked your email, go ahead and do that right now, or not now, but read it before next week. Other than that, you guys have a freaking awesome weekend and ready for a week of domination and really pushing things forward, pushing towards our goals. We got this. We're in it together, and we're here to crush some goals together.
I have a question real quick about the calories when you're talking about it, because you did that the same thing I think you did with Derek is you took away our calories when we didn't use them. So what's the difference between doing that and for us to say today it's different than yesterday? Today this is what I'm going to consume. Instead of taking those away, where is the learning part of managing those? Saying I could go here, but I'm going to stay around here today. You know, does that make sense?
So I think it would
Because
be,
I didn't use my 1400, and then you zipped me down to 200. And then I kind of got depressed for a little bit. I was like, oh man, where'd those calories go?
It's really crazy because it's very, okay, I'm just going to explain to you what happened to you. So
Yeah.
you were at 1400, you were doing great and never used them for like a whole week. And then, so I'm like, and then you're also sick. So I didn't really consider that. That's why we never do adjustments now without sending in that weekly sheet. So we need to know how you're feeling, because I could just adjust numbers to get you to your result, but what's sustainable? It has to be emotionally something that you could follow emotionally as well. So for example, with you got your calorie cut to 1200. What's really crazy is right now you're at 1400 and you're actually averaging at 1200. But I think psychologically you like to have extra room. Does that make sense? Like I that's
love
what I
that
learned about you. You're like, oh, I can if I want to, but I prefer not to.
Yeah.
That's the type of person you are. Is
Yeah.
like, I like to have some extra just in case I want it. You know
Right.
what I mean? So for you right now, like mainly we want to, where you're at right now is like, we're trying to find the average of what's happening in the week. So for you, you're going to be finding what's happening in the whole week. That's what I'm considering right now. So let's say one day you're higher and next day you're lower. Granted, your body loves it whenever you are consistent every day, right? So we're trying to get you consistent every day, and that'll get you the best results, because your body's like, oh, okay, well, I'm expecting this amount of fuel. I'm expecting this amount of fuel this day. And then just really primes your body to be optimized, efficient. Right. But right now with the phase that you're in, I'm making sure where your calories aren't hit at 1400, you're not exceeding it, and you're hitting your protein goal, and overall your average is staying 1400 and below for the week. So that's basically the number one thing I'm looking at for you in your phase right now.
Okay.
Right. Especially, or for you, it's going to be very specific with the protein goal, because you're on plant-based now. So we need to make sure that slowly, that the next phase is probably going to be like, we're going to be boosting up your protein to be higher. Yeah. Right now, you were literally doing only 10 to 15% of protein. And then now you've increased it to 20. So the next goal is going to be like to get your proteins up to be like more like 30% of your diet. But right now you're at 20, which is higher than what you used to do.
It's hard for me to find where those ingredients are that have high protein, but don't eliminate me on carbs right out. Like carbs are really hard for me, not because I eat them, but because they're in everything. I mean, they're in things that I never thought that they're in my tomatoes. That I love so much. I'm like, this is a tomato. There should not be carbohydrates in there. It's like I want to write
vegetables are carbohydrates.
Those should be in breads and those kind of things, but they should not be in the good things that I should be able to eat as much as I want. It makes me mad.
But they're like
spinach has carbs.
Very low carbs, Callie. It's not that many.
I know, but it still makes me mad.
That's why I have like 800 grams of spinach for salad.
Yeah.
See, so the lesson you could take from here is you have to understand that, like, yes, you could be eating healthy food, but guess what? You can actually gain weight on eating just healthy food. So that's why you know what I mean? Yeah. That's
why I really try and keep with the whole foods. I think we talked about this on our one-on-one, is just, it's real tricky. It's like, it's kind of like farm to table in restaurants. People put farm to table and you go in there as a chef and you do some troubleshooting or something, and you're like, you're not farm to table. You've got okay, so you buy from Benny Keith, or are you saying that that's local? You're saying it's local because you buy from a local vendor. That's not local, guys. So there's a lot of little tag words, and vegan is one of them. And it's like, and plant-based is another, little tag word. It's like, you got to really be careful. And that's why I thought, until I figure out the ins and outs, I will eat a bag of spinach because I know what's in it.
Yeah.
I know how to chart it. And it's the same thing when I went paleo for a year. It was like, I ate 4 things for the first 4 months until I figured out how I could add something else in. It was like, I was going to do it, but there was so much information out there. I didn't want to just start adding, a big steak and, all these things. And it took me a while. And this is kind of the same thing. It's like, what do you know? What foods do you know how to work with? It's like, utilize those And then as you get bored or you want to branch out, it's like, then branch out and do something different when you know how, things perform. It's like I ate that tofu and it was so good. And I made that tofu dressing, but I almost made myself sick on it. And I talked to my nutritionist friend who's plant-based also, and she's like, yeah, if you haven't had tofu like as a dietary something in your life for, you never have, you want to be careful as you do that. You get yourself in a situation where you're driving down the street and you're in big trouble. Plants respond different. I mean, I've had a body of alcohol for the last 15 years, where that was my main source of calories, and so it's like your body's like, okay, what is this thing that you're putting in there? What are these green things that you're putting in there? Even though I like to eat them, it's like when I drank, that was my objective. But now it's like I find those things that I really like